How do you girls envision these cultural expectations from Filipino parents? Do you think that this is going to change in the younger generations? Like, do you think that the younger generations is actually to give in to these cultural expectations, or do you think that this is actually going to change?
I think it's changing. I have seen it starts with me and with myself and with my own son, and I have met a lot of parents who are also like aware and starting to be really conscious about it. Yeah, because a lot of my students are parents, and I'm happy to see that, and I think also the social media is helping that in a way. There's a positive thing that's happening, at least in social media. And I think that it is changing because people are starting to become more aware of their own, how to say this, responsibility of how to take care of themselves. I hope so, because I'm I'm looking at the positive side of life most of the time. But I have based on my community especially, this is something that I see that in my batches the 40s are doing now. They're not anymore obligating their children to, hey, give me back. And I'm happy to see that even just in my community.
Yeah, I think if we're going to help our parents, it has to be out of our willingness. It's not because we
Yeah,
are
that's
obligated. And I think that parents' responsibility are their children. We are parents now, and our responsibility is our children.
Sometimes there are parents that are not worth helping. I'm not being bitter or negative because I came from a broken family. I don't have a good relationship with my mom. Sometimes when people always say that your neighbors would say that why you're not helping your mom, you're supposed to be helping your mom. That's still your mom, even if she did something bad to you. They don't understand how it feels like to be taken advantage by your own parent. That's the most painful thing, when you are helping your parents and they will still do bad things to you. That's the most painful thing. And I've experienced that because I would help my mom at the begin. After I graduate college, I was setting up that I will help my mom, but she was like taking advantage of me, still in her same habits of verbal and physical abuse. So how would you help someone like that when they can't help themselves? So I'm not bitter, but that's how I feel towards my own experience. So if the answer to your question, if it's changing, I can see change in myself, because I don't want to be a burden to my daughter when I'm in my senior citizen. So I am saving money for my retirement. I'm not gonna be like, hey, daughter, give me some money, I don't have food. I want to be able to have my own house, to have my money every month, that I have money to buy food and pay my bills. I don't want to be someone that is a burden to her. And if she gives me something like a present, then I will willingly accept it. Of course, so I think it's changed because this generation are more educated because of social media. We have every access of how to save money, how to invest our money, how to be frugal, and all those things are all available online. So I think it's changing.
Yeah, I really love the way how these cultural expectations to the Filipino children is changing, because I also look at my kids the same way, that after they graduate college and find their own jobs, I just really want them to have their own lives. I do not expect them, and I will never ask anything from them, because I've seen it a lot where children, or where after you get a job, you don't really have a life as a Filipino or as a Filipina, because all your earnings are really coming to your parents to help your siblings and all that. It's a good attribute to help your parents or to help your family, but forgetting yourself on the process of doing that is not, it's never a good thing, because you have your own life too. And I also have friends before who have the same mindset this old mindset where a lot of them are on my age, that they still have the same mindset where, after their kids have gone to college, they're now working, and that they're just really expecting them to financially support them. They're not they're able like us, they can go to work, but they refuse to go to work. They're just really expecting the children to support them. And I think, it is it's not really fair as a parent to just count your every kid as a retirement plan. And last question, what do you think, or what measures do you think can alleviate these cultural expectations, or what do you think the government can do to actually alleviate this? Because although this is changing, but there are still a lot of Filipinos obliging their children.
I wouldn't put anything on the government. I think I would really have to put on myself. I wouldn't put that obligation to change to the government, although they can probably help but no, because no matter what law they're gonna put there, if it's really like, as I said, deep rooted in a way that it's being passed down from one generation to another, the government can't do anything about that. Like, are they gonna, if there's forever, if for example, for instance, there's like a law that would have to like prohibit the children to support, how many people can they put to jail? Like, I don't see any vision of this, putting the government into this. I would say it starts with yourself and the awareness that people out there, like I'm sure a lot of your audience here would see this and watch this, because this is very common. And I hope that you would be able to learn from this experience. And maybe some of you don't realize that all you gotta do is, like me, is to really just communicate. And maybe your parents are not really that bad that they would really impose you to really do this and be the head of the family. Maybe they're not that. Maybe you just need to really communicate and start with that, if ever. And if you're a parent, start the mindset of, hey, don't put your life's responsibility to your kid, So, yeah, I wouldn't think of a government to do something about this, but I would say that your media, the YouTube, the social media, can do more positive things of awareness regarding this issue.
Yeah. What about you?
I think what they can do is have this financial education available to the young people, to the young kids, so that, because in our school system there's no really teaching on how to budget, how to save money, how to invest, how to deal with taxes. We don't have that. So I think that's the one thing that the government could add, and it would help a lot if we have that. I think that will make a lot of difference. If the young people will be educated on how to handle finances, because this is really all money about it. This is all money.
I love how you say that. You say that, because that will be something that I'm looking forward to in my channel. I have already started it actually with the latest interview with two investors in my channel, and I learned a lot from them. I'm like, this is something that you should teach on my channel. So I would have also in my channel a financial education for everyone, for all ages soon. So yeah, that is something that we all need in the Philippines, and even not just for the Philippines, for everyone. So yeah, that's something that I'm excited, because I have learned with these two people. You met Nacho, a lot about handling the money in a very simple way, to save and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is something that everyone should learn. So yeah, soon in my channel. I have started it already with one episode, so the second episode is coming up soon.
I think I love your point and yours as well, Leia. I think it starts with making wise decisions, making sure that before we have our own family, we are financially stable, or that we have at least, some savings in the bank that if we lose our job, we still can, pay for our expenses for the whole year, for the next year, or whatsoever. So I think it starts from that. And then, yes, the government also can, add in the curriculum on teaching our kids, how important savings is, and that it is really very necessary. I think it starts from making wise decisions and also educating ourselves. If the government cannot educate us, we have to educate ourselves about finances. And also the rise of the social media is really a big help. I wish though that the younger generation just do not, like, they wisely use social media, not just TikTok, because TikTok really is just for fun or entertainment, but also to self-educate themselves.
I would like to add something as a parent because I do this to my kid. Like, there's a limit of the social media, and he doesn't have TikTok on his phone, and also to limit of learning. And as early as 13, I already expose him to some financial education. This also as a parent, I think it's also good to be able to try to use the social media because. We cannot really, social media is there, so why not use it for good and try to use that tool to educate our kids on finances, on business, on mindfulness and stuff like that. So this is something that I'm doing with my kid, and I think that's something that I'm proud of, and especially with the finances, because I didn't have that before, and I wish that someone could guide me in my early age to be able to have this knowledge. So yeah, I would just like to emphasize that it's not yet too late for our culture. Like, we still have the strong family culture, of course, but then it's so much better if our kids also will be equipped with the knowledge, so that they will have a better life financially in their own life later on.